there been anybody who has surprised you that you had a vision of, a preconceived idea that when you photographed them, came out, it was a completely different experience than what you thought it would be, for good or for in a good way or a bad way?
Yes. When I first started photographing, because I play music during my shoots, both to create an environment and a kind of, when I was younger, I'd get younger, meaning like 13, 14, you get together with friends and you have 45s that you want to play for them and introduce them to this artist or that one. Especially I was from Detroit, and music was important to us. And because it was, Motown. And then in creating later on, what I would play during a shoot, I would think about music that they might not have heard that I think they'd really like. And if they did, it endeared them to me in a way that was different than they would have been with any other photographer. Bono tried stealing some of my mixtapes. So did Keith Richards. Because I would find artists that I knew those artists would like, who's that, And so I bring this up because of what we were talking about something.
Did someone surprised you? Did you have a preconceived idea about somebody before you shot them?
Yeah. So when I can't remember who the first heavy metal group was that I photographed, but I'm really not into listening to heavy metal. Especially really loud. I like James Brown. I'm about the riff. And so I was surprised not only how they were kind of nicer and much smarter people than I expected, but how open they were to other music that I would play. I had limited them, and they were some of the nicest and also the straightest people, way different than Lou Reed.
Yeah. That's like a Def Leppard or Judas Priest or a Motley Crue.
Oh, real respectful. They'll do anything. They're like Midwestern. They're all kind of, I think of them as like Midwestern guys, even though they're not from the Midwest. But, my experience of coming from Detroit is, we're brought up to be polite, work hard, and do the best at your job that you can do, because that should be your reward.
That's nice to hear about heavy metal dudes.
Yeah.
Guy,
really, really nice. Same thing for, you'll see Rob Priest. I did quite a bit of work with Judas Priest. Yeah. And they even let me, Rob would walk around in his underwear. They were just, and very respectful, A lot of people think that because I'm female, and maybe because of what I look like as a female, but first of all, because I'm female, that, that I probably had to put up with a lot of people coming on to me or doing this or that. And I think in many ways, it's what you put out there. Mm-hmm. And that didn't happen. And heavy metal people were really respectful. I can say that, I was well aware that oftentimes there were male photographers on tour with certain artists, and the acts would tell them to pull certain girls out of the front stage area and bring them back or whatever. Nobody asked me to do that. And they certainly wouldn't have been that comfortable. I wasn't necessarily invited backstage for those kinds of parties, you
The
know.
after party.
Oh. Yeah.